Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, stand by. January 1st, 2024 marks Season 2 of Burnt Out.
Engine 1 out, World Trade Center, 1060. Send every available ambulance, everything you got to World Trade Center now.
Welcome to Burnt Out. The Burnt Out podcast shares the stories of firefighters, emergency personnel, and other first responders around the world to create a pathway to save lives. The stories you will hear are real and may be disturbing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. And now I'd like to introduce you to your hosts for Burnt Out, Skip O and Jeff the Old Guy.
Thank you, Shawn, for that introduction. I'd like to thank all the listeners out there listening on this Christmas Eve morning. And it could be evening for you now. Not sure. But anyway, we'd like to thank everybody for coming in here today and listening to us. If you want to contact us at burntoutpodcast.org, jump on there and send us an email. And also, if you want to get on a support Zoom meeting, go to worldwidepeersupport.org on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you can get a hold of them there. But again, I'd like to welcome everybody, and I'd like to welcome my good friend, producer of this podcast, Shawn Neal. How you doing, Shawn?
Skip, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I think I've got too much energy for this early in the morning.
I tell you, I didn't really get up and do things, before 11 or 10 until I met Shawn, and then he started wanting to get up and do things. So that's where we're at now. So I think that's a positive.
You're out of your bleeping mind. Are you kidding me? You were texting me at 6:30 one morning, and I was barely moving. I'm like, what?
That might have been one of the nights I just didn't go to sleep, watching TV all night.
Here, I just thought you were this overly ambitious guy. I was like,
yeah, that's it. Well, I tell you, we get on this podcast and we call it burnout. We talk a lot about experiences and, the traumas and different things. We decided today we're going to spin this a little bit. It was taught to me a long time ago, to live in the solution and not the problem. The problem could be between my ears, my way of thinking. But if I get into the other side of the aspect, the attitude of gratitude, things look better, even though they might not be the best that I want them. But if I'm grateful for the little things, and then that kind of builds me up to be grateful and have a good day. Kind of toward this podcast and just how we grew from a little over a year ago to where we're at now has been great. We got a lot of listeners due to Shawn. Shawn's more businesslike than I am. He's able to teach me because I learned how to be open-minded and being taught. It's one of those things. I'm a firefighter for 33 years. I knew some things, but I didn't know all the things, and trying to keep this rusty mind open is difficult. But I'm grateful for you today, Shawn, for just being there, putting up with me when I get manic and all that good stuff.
Likewise, you don't give yourself enough credit. Pause. Most of us don't give ourselves enough credit, right?
That's right.
But in all seriousness, I mean, we each come to this with our own things that we're good at. And yesterday you and I had a off the record talk where I was asking you about some advice in dealing with, circumstance of a friend who's going through end of life. And, I've always considered myself to be pretty decent at navigating those emotional things, but like that one just had me and I didn't know what to do. And so, I think it's fair to say that, we each have our own little gifts, and yeah, mine's been business and kind of been a gift, but I've had to figure it out along the way, and you've definitely got your gifts too. So don't short sell yourself there.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm just so amazed how many friends I got around me and people that reach out to me if they need something. And I'm grateful that I got the ability, and I think I was taught the ability a long time ago through some friends that are recovering alcoholics and addicts, the most wisest people that I know, except for my mom and dad and a few other people that taught me how to love people and how to be a service to people. And I think this podcast has been a blessing for a lot of different people that's heard it, that's reached out to us. I just had somebody reach out earlier today. I was talking to you about from Florida that was struggling with something, and able to give him some solutions and told him to check in later with us. And being a part of the Burnout podcast team, it's been amazing for me, from learning, from just trying to take different ideas and getting out of my comfort zone. And if you hadn't seen the website, it's burnoutpodcast.org. There's a picture of me, and I almost put the brakes. Shawn, you can't put that picture of me. No, I like the one with this other one. And then, of course, we posted it on social media, and everybody said they liked the picture that Shawn sent to me. So guess what? That's the picture that's on there. So check out burnoutpodcast.org and look what Shawn did to the website. And I'm grateful for Jeff Dewar, the old guy, which he's not an old guy. He's young at heart. Just the relationship we built with him is coming on as a guest host, and just being good friends with him, and me and him able to talk at midnight like we could talk for hours and about nothing, just talking.
Yeah, those are the best.
And Jeff pretty much likes to make fun of you. You know that little red dot when you banged your head, making fun of you?
Dude, so I get on camera with you and Jeff, just for people who don't know the story here. And I had done some ridiculous, like I'm picking something up off the floor, and I bend down, and somehow my head hits the kitchen chair and creates, like, a mark on my head. And of course, as soon as Jeff sees it, like, he just starts laughing and the jokes start coming. And so not even 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was playing with my dog, and you saw the marks on my nose, Skip, where the dog, he had gotten me a little bit on the nose, and there were 2 red marks, look like little vampire teeth. And I'm like, please don't let Jeff be on this call, because, man, it's going to rip. He is going to get me so good. And I'm never going to hear the end of this. How did you get 2 red marks on your nose?
Yeah, I tell you, I think having a good sense of humor is one thing that can get you through those tough times, and that's, I think, first responders or anybody really, you have a sense of humor. You can laugh at yourself sometimes. When I do a lot of stupid things. I can laugh at myself all the time, and other people have a good time laughing at me. Today I'm not, it's just fun. It's fun to laugh and have that belly laugh. It's fun to be, just to be grateful. And, I don't got a whole lot of money, but, I'm still a rich man because I'm blessed with a lot of friends like yourself, Shawn, like some of the listeners out there that listen to this. And I'm just really blessed. I don't have to go buy all these gifts, and I don't have to get stressed out about it. And I'm not today. It's like, it's going to work out. It's all going to work out. As long as I got a few people I can call and talk to and hang out with and joke around at each other, man, that's good. That's all I need.
Yeah. And, we were talking right before we hit the record button that kind of that gratitude thing can be really good, especially this time of year. Like when we're coming to the holiday season, we're coming to the end of the year. And when you just kind of take inventory of everything that's happened over the past 12 months, like, just kind of saying, hey, it's okay to pat myself on the back a little bit and be proud of some of the things that I've been able to do. Because, and I say this carefully, because it's real easy to go down the path of, well, here are all the things I didn't get done. Here are all the things I set out to do and I failed. That's the easy path. Like, they say water takes the path of least resistance. That negative self-talk takes the path of least resistance. It will fly out of your mouth. And I think that if it's okay, I want to brag on you for a minute. Is that cool?
Whatever.
Just a little.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just a little, man.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, here it comes. Okay. So FDIC, the annual conference where all of the fire departments from throughout the United States kind of converge, and it's huge. It happens here in Indiana at the Convention Center. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
That's correct.
Indianapolis?
Happens at Lucas Oil, the Convention Center, outside Lucas Oil, outside Indianapolis. It's 30,000 first responders all over the world come to this event, and it's 62 different countries.
Yeah, it's freaking amazing. And you, Skip, have been for several years kind of pulling several organizations together, and you like get this big section, a couple of different tables, display tables, exhibition tables. You have a dinner in Indianapolis where you bring all of these different organizations together that you are working with. And that's a huge dinner for everybody to kind of meet and greet and get to have a chance to catch up. And then the next, 3 days is the conference where a lot of organizations kind of pool around this table that, you organized, and they all share space and they all network. I just want to take a minute and just brag on you for the work that you've put into that. Everything that's accomplished, and how many different connections within, the first responder circle, but also the mental health, the suicide awareness, substance use disorder circles that you have been able to connect and help people throughout that. And so I was taught to always just, even though it's hard, take the compliment. Take the compliment, man. You've done good.
Well, I'm just grateful that I had a lot of friends and a lot of organizations that sponsored us and backed us and all that, because, one person with that big a conference cannot do it all. And the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the Indiana chapter, jumped on board and hit a home run and just really, what do you need? They want to be there and help. And they got 70-something chapters all over the United States. Every state has a chapter. And also Thin Line Canines were there with us and bringing their 2 fur babies, or they brought them there. And then you had the Worldwide Peer Support booth. And then, of course, we had Brought on Thrive and Bridges of Hope and Turning Point Madison County. And oh, man, then across from us was Firefighters for Christ. And then you had next to us, you had, just all kinds of different treatment centers that helped us. Here they are, have a booth, and they still gave us money so we could have a booth. And we're First Responders Wellness out in California. They helped us out a lot. And so did that new, there's a wolf retreat out in California that they're building for first responders to go out there. And it's a bunch of pack wolves that they rescued. And now they're building a retreat around that for first responders to go out there. So I am grateful, Shawn, to be involved in that. I think it's, it's a place that we can be right in the middle of the thick of things and meet other departments, not just fire. There's police and military out there too, that we can be there with them and learn something and meet them and kind of, copy or not, not reinvent what's already there, but be a partner with those people so we can bring everybody together. But we've been doing it for, I think, going on 2018 is when I was on the board of American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. Then the year after, we had the concept of the Worldwide Peer Support. And then next few years, we've been there. Then this year, we're coming out as Burnout Podcast. We're going to have our organization there along with AFSP and Worldwide Peer and some others. So it's just been a blessing. I appreciate you, giving a shout out about that. But as you know, it takes a team, and I'm glad to be part of that team.
And I think it's so good to, to look back at some of the things that have gone right, and to give yourself the pat on the back and say, it was a lot of work. I know it was a lot of work for you. I was there on the other side of it. As you were panicking, trying to get it all together.
When I was short-circuiting and had all this weight on my shoulder, and you could see in my eye.
I know, but again, at the end of the day, what a cool thing to do. And I wanted to share something with you. Since we're talking about gratitude, so about 6 months ago, maybe, I started this kind of ritual with my stepdaughter. So she gets up in the morning, and on several mornings of the week, she is not thrilled. She's 6 years old. She's not thrilled to get up. Okay. So for some reason, this idea of 6:30 in the morning and getting up for school just doesn't make her too happy. So I started this practice of, let's have our morning gratitude. And she begrudgingly participated for a while. So you could almost feel her rolling her eyes in her head as I would say, good morning, what are we grateful for today? So the other day I went in there to wake her up, and I was in a hurry because I was running late, and she says, Shawnee, and that's what she calls me. And and she says, what are you grateful for today? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's something she now looks forward to. And the cool thing about that, Skip, is that moment of just thinking about something that she is truly grateful for is how she starts her day. It's like the first thing her mind is focusing on when she opens her eyes. And that is so cool.
That is cool. That is a good story. I tell you, those little things, my grandkids and stuff, we got our little things we get to share with them. But, there's another person that's important in my life too, not just my wife, which I love her dearly, but also a guy out in California. His name's Jason Sawtell. He wrote the book, The Rescuer, and we became friends through meeting on the Worldwide Peer Support, then kind of developing a friendship and hanging out. And I was grateful this year they're making his book into a movie, and he was able to come to FDIC and then come to Anderson, our training grounds, and one of our fire departments, and they were doing a sizzle reel there, and that's just to hype up the movie and stuff. And they did shot some scenes. It was pretty cool and exciting. And the guys at the fire department, ladies at the fire department, loved it, man. When Jason came in there and his crew, they were great. And then after they left, Jason donated a considerable amount of money to the union, to the charity fund, to us too. But not just because of the money, what he does there, but he's just a funny guy. I remember when he came to FDIC, we stayed a night with him in Indianapolis. We were up till about midnight, and he was telling stories, and I was rolling and laughing on the floor. My stomach hurt. Diane was laughing. Jason, his wife, was laughing, and we just had a great time. And I did the same thing with good friends of mine, Chuck Evans and Tony File. We all went to these groups with our wives, and we had a good time there. But I think sometimes in life, you got to break away from that busy scene and get away with friends, and so you can catch your breath a little bit. And I'm grateful for those guys and those ladies, and friends of mine like yourself, just getting away and joking around and just being crazy. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and I think that since we're talking about Jason, we should also give him a plug there for his website, jasonsawtell.com. We'll link to it in the show notes. But go check that out. Great book, The Rescuer. Definitely a good read and something that a lot of people are going to connect with.
Another book comes out of his. It comes out in January.
What's that?
He did a devotional, and it comes out, Is Jesus All We Need? And it's got everyday stuff in there, but it's got some stuff from the job and stuff that he uses. But it comes out in January, so I'm excited to see that. And that's something, like when I get up in the morning, what helps me to be grateful is have that spiritual connection that works for me. And I'm not going to preach at nobody out there. Whatever you believe, that's what you believe. But with me, I need to get up, get on my knees, say a prayer, and then read something positive. And that's what I try to do. And that's one of the things that I'm going to have in my morning reading when that comes out in January. We ordered 2 already. We just waiting. They release it in January, but that's another good book of Jason's that he did. Christmas is tomorrow, so I'm anxious to spend time with my family and have a good time with them and enjoy them and stuff. And I'm this pastor said, Shawn, I'm blessed. He goes like, Skip, I was blessed twice today. I was blessed when my grandkids came over, and I was blessed when they left. And anybody that has grandkids or kids, you'll get what I'm saying.
They know that they've earned that right to keep the kids, spoil the kids, and then send the kids home when the kids get tired and contrary.
That's right.
Go home to mom and dad.
The cool thing about being grateful or just being serene, to get to that point, it's good to have a gratitude list. When I think something Purpose-Driven Life was talking about it, kind of you pass through your fingertips on paper and just simply sharing your thoughts on paper. What are you grateful for today? Instead of thinking about it in your mind, put it on paper, and then it becomes real. And then that's one thing that I've journaled and done. And I'm not a journal kind of dude, but they said you need to do that if you want to be grateful. And that was one of the tools that I used today. I should use it more, to be honest with you. I don't, but I should use it more. But listen what you're grateful for. So many times I want to drift, like Shawn says, I want to drift to the negative side. And we've got to remember, I got to be rerouted and dam up that part where I go into the negativity. And I think writing a gratitude list, talking to people about being grateful, not saying if I'm hurting or something, I share how I feel, and then I need to move on. I don't want to sit there and live in that darkness or that self-pity or whatever it is for me. I want to move on and then count my blessings, because there's a lot of good stuff that happens in my life. And I know a lot of like-minded people, we can get stuck in that place until we start saying it out loud to people, and have them list, what are you grateful for? And that's when I start feeling better. The weight is lifted off my shoulders.
Oh, absolutely. So can I preach? I preach?
Preach on.
All right. Here's a little fact for you. The human brain thinks at between 1,000 and 3,000 words per minute. Think about that for a second. There's 60 seconds in a minute. So in 60 seconds, your brain can think up to 3,000 words per minute. So if the words that are going through your mind are, I suck, I'm horrible, I failed, I can't believe I can't do this, my life sucks, I'm no good for anybody, you get the idea.
Sure.
That's 3,000 negative words that you can crank through your brain in one single minute of one single day. And we all know what it feels like to hear somebody say one of those words to you one time, let alone putting it on repeat in your brain. So the challenge, I think, with gratitude is to like you said, rewire it and put those positive things in there. When you find yourself getting to that moment of, I'm no good, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, I failed, I failed the people I love. Think of that one thing that you're grateful for. Think of that one thing that you did really well. And repeat that. Put that on repeat for a little while.
Yeah.
Make yourself do it. It's not that it's just going to sit in your brain and start doing that. You have to make it. You have to put some effort into it, but it will absolutely help you change the trajectory of what you're thinking.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I always like it too. Some friends of mine said, Skip, try doing something nice for somebody and don't get found out.
That's a good one. Yes.
And I did that, man. I was so proud. I did it for a few people that week. When I first learned it, I was so proud of myself. Patting myself on the back. That's why I had 2 shoulder surgeries, because I pat myself on the back so much. But I went and told that they asked me, "Did you do what we suggested to you?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "Well, tell us what you did." I went through the list of everything I did. He goes, "Well, that don't count because you just told us." And I go, "What?" So they tricked me. So what I've learned, you do things and don't get found out. And I with my grandkids or kids, we'll go put money in a either change. When we used to have change, they do dollar bills now, but we'd put money in a pop machine. Somebody would get 2 pops instead of 1. Or you'd be at a fast food, you pay for the next 2 cars behind you. Or you'd be in a restaurant, you see somebody just kind of sick with you, pay for them and don't get found out, and they have no clue. And sometimes you get to watch it, how it happens. They don't know who it is. They're looking around, and I'm just eating my food, not looking down. And man, that stuff makes me feel good, just doing stuff like that. Because if I'm in dire straits, I find out it's hard for me. If I reach out to somebody, be of service to others, or do something like that, yes, man, that lifts me out of that. Man, I feel much better. I see a smile out. I get out of self. Because when I'm feeling down and depressed, I'm all into self. I'm just what I don't have or what I'm not or whatever it is. But when I get out of self, man, that's where I can grow spiritually or grow mentally. That I need taught that sometimes. And like listen to podcasts, going on support meetings on Worldwide Peer Support, talking to other first responders or friends that aren't first responders that are like-minded, man, that helps me grow, I think I need to be a better listener than I am a talker, which that's work in progress.
But I think that's just kind of like part of being human, really. They say, and I don't remember the exact saying, but it's kind of like, most of us listen just long enough so we can remember what we want to say after you quit talking.
Sure.
And to really practice just calming that voice and just listening to what somebody else is saying. That's huge.
Yeah, it is. Well, I tell you, Shawn, it's been a good year. It's been a good day, and tomorrow, we get to celebrate Christmas, eat a lot of food, maybe open a few gifts. But I'm really grateful for all the stuff you've done for me the past dozen years, and especially this past year. And I hope everybody's listening. Hope you're doing well, and it's just a good life.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Thanks for having me on today. This has been fun.
Appreciate you being on. Well, I hope everybody has a great day today. And remember, if you're not, jump on worldwidepeersupport.org. There is a Zoom meeting tonight, Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. And also every Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, there's a support Zoom meeting for first responders. That's worldwidepeersupport.org. Or you can send us an email, burnt out, that's BURNTOUT podcast.org, burntoutpodcast.org. Send us an email. We'll get back to you. But for now, thank you everybody for listening to us. You go have a great day today. And tonight, shut your phone off, shut your scanner off, and get some sleep. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Burnout. Burnout is brought to you by the Worldwide Peer Support. You can visit Burnout Podcast at burntoutpodcast.org or visit Worldwide Peer Support at worldwidepeersupport.org. Your hosts for the Burnt Out Podcast are Skip O and Jeff the Old Guy. Produced by Shawn P. Neal. A MyPodcast.media production.